I know, being out in the snow is the last place you'd expect to find me when talking about linen care. But during my interview with Alan Jessman of Anakini, he told me that hanging your sheets out to dry in the snow makes them smell amazing. So I thought I'd give it a try. But you know what? It is really, really cold out here. So I'm gonna head inside while you watch the interview. I'm hitting the road, searching for answers and finding great design. It's a quest for beauty, function, and of course, inspiration. All right, so how do you care for your sheets?
Sheets should always be washed. They should never be dry cleaned because you don't want those dry cleaning chemicals that close to your body.
Oh, that's true. I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah. And you may think that you're taking care of your sheets by having them dry cleaned, but you're really not, because you can control what's done to them at home a lot more easily. And there are just a few simple rules for taking care of any fine washable. You want to use a mild detergent or soap, something that doesn't have any whiteners or brighteners, and probably something that has minimal fragrance or colorings to it. Which is, now is much more easy to find those kinds of things because we're all becoming very green.
Right.
It's easy to find things that don't have dyes and a lot of additives.
And no Clorox?
No Clorox ever. No Clorox ever.
What about the oxygen bleaches?
Those are okay. You would always, anytime, that would be, if you had a little stain or something, you could test it on a corner just to make sure it's not going to take the color out. And you want a mild detergent or soap, and you always dissolve that in the water first. Front loaders kind of take some of this pressure away from us, but if you have a traditional top loader where the water goes in first, always dissolve the soap in it first and let it agitate a minute before you put the clothes in. And front loading washers are a wonderful thing, and everything will last longer if you use them because they're much more gentle. They don't have the agitator in the middle.
I would have never thought that.
Yeah, and I can remember even 10 years ago in America it was very hard to get front loaders, but now a lot of people have them.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so that's one hint. And then
that's a good one.
Yes, and so mild detergent, cool water. Stay away from hot water. You can use lukewarm, that's fine. But hot water is very harsh on the fibers, hard on the colors, and will shorten the lifespan of your sheets. A gentle cycle. You don't need a lot of agitation. Don't overfill the washer. If you have a king-size bed and you have sheets and maybe a lot of pillowcases and a duvet, don't try to put all of it into the washing machine at once. Maybe put your sheets in and then do a separate load with the duvet. And if you've got a lot of pillowcases, they might need a separate load themselves. And of course, we're in Vermont, so we're big advocates on line drying.
Why is that?
Well, if you line dry your sheets, first of all, the wind will blow most of the wrinkles out of them so that you never have to worry about ironing them. And a lot of the reason that people's sheets will wear out is because of the dryer. All of that lint that you see in your dryer, that's your clothing or your sheets coming apart.
Oh, that's not good.
No. It's got to come from something.
That's a shock.
Yeah.
I always thought it was just like dust particles, but those dust is the sheet.
It's actually the fabric breaking down little particles of it. And so, when you hang it outside, that doesn't happen. But of course, not everybody lives in the country. And people can, you can dry things over your shower rod, or people sometimes create laundry rooms that have bars just for drying things, which is a wonderful thing. If you don't have that, and a lot of people don't, you can just use your dryer on the air tumble. You just want to fluff dry them. You don't want to use really any heat. And always try to take them out of the dryer before they're bone dry, before they feel hot and dry, because again, that's hard on the fibers and they'll break down faster. So if you take them out and you can, sheets or something, you could lay them over your bed, just for those last half hour maybe to get the final dryness out of them, and then fold them up and put them in your linen closet.
Is that true for all linens?
It's a good rule for all linens and even clothing is that you don't really want to dry them until they're bone dry and hot to the touch.
Does that entire process work for like every linens in your home? Like
pretty much everything.
Even bath towels?
Even bath towels. Yep. And towels are something, that sometimes we just want them hot and fluffy and we don't care that maybe we're going to have to replace them more often. What
do you do in the winter then?
Well, people ask me that a lot, and people won't believe me when I say that even when you hang a wet sheet out on the line and it's freezing cold out and it freezes hard as a board, if you leave it there for a couple of days, the temperature changes and the water does evaporate. In the morning, if the sun hits the line, you can see steam coming off of them. And after a couple of days, you bring them inside, they'll be kind of cold and damp for a few minutes, and then they dry right out and you put them away.
Do you do that even when it's snowing?
Yes.
You're kidding.
It's true.
It works even when
They smell wonderful.
Do they?
Yeah, incredible.
The best when it's snowing?
Yes.
I would have never thought that. I'm going to be out there hanging up my sheets when it's snowing now.
Yes.
Wow.
It's the best fragrance for a fabric softener I could think of.
Check out my website, askthedecorator.com, to discover more about this topic, read informative how-to articles, or watch other videos from my trip. You'll find a variety of helpful decorating advice when you stop by.